Marcella's doing Duchess potatoes, which I gotta tell you, not my fave.
Oh.
It's mashed potatoes, which, hey, great. And then when I had to make them, you piped it out into like a little spiral, and then you baked it to get a crust. But here's the deal. The crust is never really crusty. It's just dry.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for Marcella's potatoes to just like turn
We're
you
gonna
around.
be looking at you for that bite.
Woo.
I made for you today a classic beef cutlet with Duchess potatoes, or as my mother likes to call them, duchesse. It's synonymous with comfort.
You should have heard me talking so much trash about Duchess potatoes.
Oh,
And now I want to eat them all.
oh, good.
They are so rich in potato flavor, but still moist and creamy, and they're just fabulous.